I was very much in the system. I was very much a good player of that game. I started out as a good player of that game. I tell people my journey as a career educator started as the 4-year-old in kindergarten, understanding that there was a game going on. I remember very clearly sitting at the red table. It wasn't the color red. We'd been assigned the color red as a group. I can picture it. I can picture sitting there. I remember the kid next to me named Bobby Green. I thought that was ironic. We were at the red table, but his name was Bobby Green. He ended up giving me chicken pox when we were 10. I remember Rachel Ott. There's no reason I should remember these names. I don't talk to any of these people anymore. But I remember the people that were at this table, and we were called the red table. And I remember looking over at the blue table. I remember looking at the green table. I remember looking at the yellow table, and we were at the red table. I was 4 years old, and I went, well, we're about to do a reading exercise. Those are the people they think are going to have the hardest time with this. That's the next group. That's the next group. And these are the best readers in the class. Okay. There's some sort of pattern here. There's a game here. I figured that out at 4 years old. So I learned very early that there is a game being played in school. And I remember very clearly at 8 years old going, okay, I can actually play this game really well, have everybody on my side, get all of these A's without any effort, and I'm pretty sure I can do this without ever doing really a lick of work, homework, etc. I'm pretty sure I can play this game and play it really well. And I did. And I got my straight A's. I was very good at the game, at the system. But I graduated high school and went, wait, that's the game I'm good at. What do I do next? Well, everybody else is going to continue playing this game. They're going to go to college and keep playing the game, so I'm going to go there too, because that's what everybody else is doing. So I went to college, and in college it was the same thing. I went, okay, this is still the game. I'm going to do the stuff I want to do, which is girls and sports. I'm going to focus on that because that's what's fun. But this game, I got it. Right? It's very, very easy. And then again, you graduate there, and you're like, now what? I did not want to face the game outside of school because it wasn't the same game. And that was the struggle. So then when I found myself years later at Stanford University and I'm working there, I'm seeing all of these other people that are bringing up all these memories because these young people are really, really good at that particular game. But they're coming in and they're mentally breaking down. They're coming in and they don't understand how to write a check. They're coming in talking about how they didn't know how to cook spaghetti. They're coming in talking about how they're feeling all this pressure and they're really good at this, but they can't get a job. I'm seeing those same dang patterns playing out over and over again. So I saw that while I was at Stanford. Simultaneously, I'm seeing the game of school from a business standpoint. So I'm seeing these people who can play this game really well, but the whole life thing isn't working out for them. And then I'm seeing the game of school where I'm going, okay, well, I grew up being told that this whole thing is a meritocracy. That if you play this game really, really well, that's all it takes to get to the upper level of this game. And then you play this upper level of this game really well. And then, well, life works out really, really well. So not only am I not seeing this whole life thing work out for these people, but wait a second, it's also not this meritocracy that I was told that it was. There's other elements to this, and I don't necessarily think that's right. So I'm seeing all of these things play out while I'm also figuring out, finally, what I'm good at. It was then that I started realizing, wait a second, I can actually see patterns. And then I'm working in a corporate training capacity, so I'm seeing these patterns play out in every element of the university, and then I go, okay, and I actually have somewhat of a gift for communicating things to people too. So naively, I'm like, well, now I'm going to go change it from the ground up. And so that's what brought me to public education. And so all these next moves were all out of naivete, but they all played a role in me figuring out this journey. So I ended up being the public school teacher. I ended up being the public school administrator. I ended up being the private school teacher, the private school administrator, seeing this game from every single level, which finally made me ask, why do we do it this way? And when you really actually are brave enough I'll say, curious enough to ask that question, and brave enough to sit with the answers. It's one of those things that you can't unsee it. And when I understood what it was, there was no way I could be a part of it. I couldn't be a part of it perpetuating that system for other people, and I sure as hell was not going to do it for my own kids. So that's why we ended up here, doing what we're doing here. Because I saw the game from the inside out, and I knew it all too well to know enough that I wasn't going to be touching it for my family.